Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
The Halos finished off the weekend with a walk-off against their division rivals from the north. Tonight, the resurgent Yankees invade the Big A with a season series sweep on their mind. Welcome to Angels Baseball on Fox Sports West here at the Big A, and a big three-game series gets started tonight as the Halos host the New York Yankees. Calling all the action, of course, is Victor Rojas and Mark Kubiza, and here they are.
Thanks a lot, Patrick. We're outside the Big A, and of course, we are beginning a three-game set against the New York Yankees here. The Angels have won the first two, as far as the two series this homestand, against the Seattle Mariners, against the Houston Astros. You look to keep it rolling, even though the offense is continuing to struggle. What are you looking for in this series?
Well, the big thing, Victor, for me right now, you got Eric Ibar back in the lineup. He's been swinging the bat well his last 9 games, hitting over 400. And when you have him back in, he's the captain of the defense, but also does so many things for you offensively to be able to generate runs. With that big base hit yesterday with the infield in, he does everything well. And then you got Mike Trout, who in his career against CC Sabathia in 364, 4 for 11. He has a home run, hit that back on June 7th. A 330 career hitter against the Yankees. It's all predicated around C.J. Wilson continue to throw the ball well against the Yankees. That start up in Yankee Stadium struggled, but other than that, 4-1 in his career with an ERA just over 3. He's got to get that fastball inside, that cutter inside, back it up with his little two-seam and change up away. If C.J. does that, he should be able to go out there and dominate this team. It's predicated himself around hitting the long ball, keep it in the yard, win the game.
Halos trying to answer the New York Yankees, who swept the Halos a couple of weeks ago. So we're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back, relax. We're going to bring you the lineups in the first pitch when we return. Angels baseball is versus the road, and we will talk about that throughout the broadcast. C.J. Wilson and the Angels have ready to take the field here and start game one. The Angels with the victory yesterday, now 39-37, 4 back and in second place in the American League West. The Houston Astros, by the way, are leading the Kansas City Royals, or at least they were in the early going. So the Angels, should that score hold, needing a victory to keep pace with the Astros. CJ about ready to throw his first warm-up pitch. We'll take a look at the Yankees starting lineup for tonight. The red-hot Brett Gardner leading things off. He is the player of the week in the American League after hitting .500. He is the center fielder.
That's pretty hot, right?
Yeah, while Jacoby Ellsbury starts his rehab tonight in Tampa. Chris Young is in left field. Alex Rodriguez at DH. Mark Teixeira at first base. Carlos Beltran out in right field. Chase Headley is the third baseman. Jose Pirela is the second baseman. John Ryan Murphy doing the catching, and Didi Gregorius batting ninth and playing shortstop. Taking on CJ with a 5-6 record, a 3.92 ERA. His last start here at home did not go very well against the Houston Astros.
All the big things. He's very good as far as making adjustments. He had that tough start against the Yankees and 2 very good starts after that. But key for me and my go-tos for CJ to be successful, you look at his ERA in his wins. 0.97 is not allowed a home run in his wins, but in his losses, 9 home runs allowed, an ERA just under 8. And you're going to score some runs against CC Sabathia today, so it's up to CJ not only pitch well, but even if you have an inning or two where you're struggling, know that you're going to get the offense support and you're going to be able to fight your way through for a victory today.
Check out the defense for the Angels tonight. Daniel Robertson in left field, Mike Trout in center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield consists of David Freese and Eric Ibar on the left side. Johnny Giavantella, the newly recalled C.J. Cron over at first base. Carlos Perez doing the catching.
C.J. Cron playing first base, giving Albert Pujols an opportunity to DH again tonight. First start at first since June 7th at Yankee Stadium. Has committed 1 error in that position, showing more and more consistent range at first base. Took a lot of those plays at first base during spring training. He's carried into a very solid glove to the big leagues.
Yankees at 21-14 at home. They are 20-21 out on the road, but the big disparity for them is on the offensive side. And granted, we've talked about for the last couple of years how hitter-friendly, especially right field, can be to left-handed batters, whether they are Yankees or any other team. But this year, a huge disparity between the home and road splits. 282 at home, averaging 5.7 runs a game, and on the road just 235, averaging just under 4 runs a game.
Yeah, a lot of those routine outs on the road or their home runs at Yankee Stadium and hit the ball to right field or right center where it carries extremely well.
That being said, they are still just a half game out of first. Gardner will look at a strike to start this one off. Gardner with a 6-game hitting streak, hitting 300, 9 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Freese playing in on the grass. This one's out to the alley in right center field. It's a single at the very least. Gardner with good speed, trying to go to second. The throw from Cole Calhoun, not in time. And it is a leadoff double for Brett Gardner, his 20th of the season.
That was good speed by Gardner. Right out of the batter's box, he was thinking double. That's the only way you're going to get the second against Cole Calhoun, who made a strong throw and a head-first slide by Gardner by holding on to the base and made sure he did not go off the base when he slid in there. But it was a pitch that was the middle part of the plate, a fastball. Cole did a nice job of cutting it off and getting it in quickly. You see that hard slide, but he's able to hold on to the base with his right hand. And that's the thing, when you have that type of momentum going, very difficult to hold on to the base. And he realized that with that late slide, but holds on to that corner and does not come off the base. Nearly pulls it off the dirt. Well done by Gardner.
Lead off double.
20th double.
Yeah. Here's Young, equally as hot, especially against left-handed pitching. Had his 10-game hitting streak that snapped yesterday in Houston. 267 with 10 home runs and 25 runs batted in, hitting 388 against left-handed pitching this year. That tops Major League Baseball. Breaking ball low, and it evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Big thing for CJ, this part of the lineup for the Yankees, it's Chris Young, Alex Rodriguez, and Mark Teixeira coming up. Those 3 are combined 7 for 66 against C.J. Wilson with just 2 home runs and 5 RBI. Not many at bats with that type of power. C.J.'s done well against them.
Downstairs, 2-1. Mentioned that last start for Wilson against the Astros on the 23rd. Gave up 7 runs. That's a season high for him.
matching a season high, pardon me. 8 hits, lasting just 3 1/3, his shortest outing of the year. He did face the Yankees on June the 7th, took the loss, and now would give up 6 runs. This one lifted out to shallow right. Giavotella going out. Calhoun comes racing in. Cole with the call and the catch. 1 down.
Big out. Gardner cannot advance. Again, success against Young. 2 for 18 in his career versus C.J. Wilson. That's important when you're on the mound and you face guys you've had success against. I don't think you're saying Cole with that play.
What you're hearing is a mix of Angel fans booing and those that have not seen the Yankees back home. We'll finally get to see him out on the road here in Southern California. Getting a chance to cheer Alex Rodriguez, the DH. And as always, when these two teams meet here, a lot of Yankee fans in attendance and scheduled throughout these 3 games. First one on the way, and it's inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Alex having a fine season. You talk about a guy that has missed a lot of time prior to this year because of the suspension. You didn't know what you were going to get out of him. And he's put up a .285 average, 15 home runs, and 44 RBIs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
CJ's pitched him very well, especially with fastballs in. A-Rod just 3 for 24 in his career against CJ.
Leadoff double for Brett Gardner. He stands at second.
It's not a bad idea for CJ to vary that look. Back to second. Gardner loves to try to steal third base. He's got 15 stolen bases in 18 attempts. Have to vary that look.
1-2, good location.
I'll take another shot at a slider down and in. Although you do have the outer part of the plate if you keep it down. Now, A-Rod is very good as far as driving the ball that it's up and away against him when he get his arms extended.
Giavotella trying to keep Gardner close to the bag, and it's a swing and a miss on a fastball. Down goes Rodriguez, 2 outs.
Challenged him with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. He was trying to go inside. Fastball right down the heart of the plate and got it by him. And one thing that the conversation coming into the season, would Alex Rodriguez be able to catch up to a good fastball? He has shown he can. He was looking inside, and that fastball ran out over the plate. Got a swing and miss from CJ, who continues to dominate A-Rod.
Mark Teixeira pulls one foul, and it's 0-1. A couple of former teammates with the Texas Rangers facing off here with 2 outs of man in scoring position. Teixeira hitting .246, 18 home runs and 43 runs batted, and also has 15 doubles on the year. Yankees as a team have hit .260 this season. Men in scoring position. Teixeira .247. Gets away from Perez. Gardner trying to go to third. The throw down is not in time. A safe call by Jim Reynolds.
Quickly Freeze pointed in to Mike Scioscia to maybe take a look at this play. Carlos Perez bouncing that wild pitch quickly. A pretty good throw. See if he got that tag in. It looked like he got him. I think they got a chance of winning this one. Looked like the tag right on top of that sliding mitt. Right there. Got him.
Yeah.
Before he even got his fingers in, for sure. What a play by Carlos Perez. And a quick tag by David Freeze. There's a reason why Freeze right away pointed in to Mike Scioscia to check that one out. Dino Ebel right away saw the same thing. Turned out to be a very big play.
Dylan Colbreth, the crew chief, and Jim Reynolds, the man who made the call, with the headset. This is a quick one, and it is going to call down. Nice job by Carlos Perez and throwing out Gardner trying to take the extra base on the wild pitch. You can erase that wild pitch. Right to the bottom of the first with no score. Johnny DiMatteo leading things off at second. Cole Calhoun and right, Mike Trout at center. Albert Pujols at DH for the second straight game. David Freese at third. Eric Ibar back in the starting lineup at short. C.J. Cron at first. Carlos Perez doing the catching. And Daniel Robertson batting ninth and playing left field as they take on the 34-year-old left-hander, soon to be 35, from Vallejo, California. His name is CC Sabathia.
CC Sabathia, just a great competitor. Has struggled this year, especially with the long ball. My go-tos: don't chase the changeup out of the zone, and continued right-handed success. Right-handers in .339 against CC with 16 home runs. He competes as well as anybody, but if you're a hitter, you got to force him in the middle part of the plate. You could do some serious damage.
16th start for CC, 3-7 and a 5.65 ERA. DiMatteo loops one out to center. It's a leadoff single, so both teams have had their leadoff man reach to start the first. We will check out the Yankees defensively behind Sabathia. Young, Gardner, and Beltran in the outfield from left to right. Headley, Gregorius, Perella, and Teixeira from third to first, with Murphy behind the plate.
Headley at third base has struggled, especially early in the season, with 16 errors, which is the most by any Major League third baseman. The majority of those errors were early in the season. He's really figured that out. He's won a Gold Glove back in 2012 for the Padres. He has good range at third. Majority of the errors early on were on throws.
So man on against Sabathia. There's Cole Calhoun. Cole's average at .262. 7 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Cole yesterday with a couple of hits, going 2 for 4. He had a 2-run home run on Saturday. Halos could use Calhoun getting back on track. Caught the inside corner to even the count. Cole's at just .232 in the month of June. Second time Sabathia has faced the Angels this year. Picked up the victory at Yankee Stadium. Gave up a couple of home runs to Trout and Pujols, and that was pretty much it. This one lifted foul. Third base side. Headed to the seats. 1-2. CC worked 6 innings in that one. Gave up a total of 5 hits, struck out 7, and walked 1. Remember, he was ejected from that game as he left the field. I think he was going to be done at that point anyway.
Yeah, it looked like at that point Joe Girardi decided he was going to go to the bullpen.
Always a bulldog on the mound, but never seen that side of him. At least we had anyway.
He's always been one of my favorite pitchers to watch compete. And if the manager asks him to go on 3-day rest, he will go on 3-day rest. 211 career W's, which is third amongst active pitchers in Major League Baseball.
Trout on deck, the 2-2. Calhoun lays off the high fastball. And a full count.
And one thing I noticed about CC, that average velocity according to Fangraphs on his fastball this year, 89.5 miles per hour. When you look back to 2009, 94.2. And even 2011, 93.8 miles an hour, the average fastball for CC. So it's dropped quite a bit. A lot more sliders, a lot more changeups.
3-2. Got him. Fastball in on the hands, and there's the first down.
My Hyundai key for this game today, we're going with yes. And you and I looking for a total team effort. We've seen some good pitching, seen some timely hitting on occasion, and some solid defense. Put all three of those phases together to beat this very tough New York Yankee team. Chris Squire, the basis for the great band, yes, passed away yesterday. One of the all-time great bands, yes.
So 1 out, 1 on. Here's Trout. Mike 0 for 3 yesterday with a couple of intentional walks. Even 300 batting average with 19 home runs and 42 runs batted in. Talking about Sabathia and his repertoire nowadays. Still tough on lefties. They've only hit 195 against him. The right-handers have hit 339 against him. That leads the big leagues.
He will backdoor his slider. He will throw a cut fastball in on right-handers. He likes to throw that two-seam fastball away, back it up with a changeup down and away. Still has a very good a plus changeup.
Two balls and a strike. Giavotella on first base, a single for him. Mentioned during yesterday's broadcast that the Angels just have not run a whole lot. Especially of late. Bouncer foul.
Let's take a look at our 18-2 Universe rewind back on June 7th. Yankee Stadium. Mike Trout pitch down in the zone, and CC Sabathia has to look up and watch that one leave the ballpark. Trout, a 364 career hitter against CC, a 330 career hitter overall against the New York Yankees for Mike Trout.
Two balls and two strikes. Called strike 3. Manny Gonzalez rings up Trout on a borderline pitch. 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sabathia.
Cutter, lower part of the strike zone, just barely touching it. A lot of times you don't get that call when you're on the mound when the catcher tries to bring that baseball back up. That tells you, as an umpire should, that ball is not in the zone when the catcher tries to bring that back up. But CC, the veteran, gets the call.
So Albert will bat with 2 outs, and Giavotella is still at first base. He shoots this one toward the right field corner. That's a fair ball. Carlos Beltran comes up with it. Giavotella being waved around. He is going to come in to score. 1-0 Angels on Pujols' 11th double of the season.
That is a perfect swing from Albert. Just went with the pitch. Fastball was up out over the plate. Now, but what a perfect swing of that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. The drive through his body and drive it right down in that right field corner. Giving him 48 RBI for Albert Pujols, and another extra base hit, another RBI for the machine as he scores Giavotella.
That's his 1131st extra base hit, now tied for 15th all-time with Tris Speaker.
That's one of the all-time great names in the game of baseball history.
Albert's 572nd double ties him now for 23rd all-time with Pud Rodriguez.
Well, every time Albert does something special, he's catching great names in the history of the baseball.
Serving as a DH for the second straight game. Freeze comes up empty on that swing, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
So CC Sabathia has faced 3 right-handed batters so far in this game. 2 gotten hits. So the pattern continues. The lack of success against right-handed batters by CC Sabathia.
This one in and out of the glove of Murphy. Pujols will advance to third. Pass ball on Murphy.
Right off the glove, changeup. Murphy unable to keep that in the glove. It's an important play right there because now you're taking away that nasty slider potentially down and in from Sabathia with Pujols now at third base.
Two-one pitch. Upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. Freeze yesterday, 0 for 1. A strikeout, a walk, and a hit by pitch. 236 average, 10 home runs, and 34 runs batted in. Chases what would have been ball 4.
See the pattern already for CC. Fastball away, 4-seamer. Cut fastball in against right-handed batters. Your goal was a hitter, try to bring him in the middle part of the plate. And at 90, that's pretty good hitting speed. Doesn't have that nasty sink.
And he walked it. First free pass issued by Sabathia to put runners at the corners with 2 outs, and Ibar coming up.
It's nice to see the Angels carry that momentum from a very fine defensive play by Carlos Perez to finish off the top of the first, coming right back and scoring in the bottom of the first with the chance to score some more.
First start for Ibar since he came out of the game on Friday. A little tightness in his hamstring. 264. Seen him pitch it a couple of times over the weekend. 1-0. 10 doubles, a home run, and 22 runs batted in. Eric from the right side of the plate, a 317 average compared to 248 from the left. 5 of his 22 runs batted in on this side. He's got Pujols at third, Freeze at first, 1-0 Angels. Albert driving it, Giavotella from first with a double. 2-0.
Back in New York, back-to-back home runs by Trout and Pujols. So you think, okay, you're going to get the CC. You got to continue to put pressure on him before he gets into a groove.
And a groove he got into at Yankee Stadium. This one's out towards center, playable for Gardner. Handles the lead 2-man off, but they do strike for a run on the double by Albert, picking up his 48th RBI, one of the second with the Angels leading it.
Junior Sports Update. Big battle in Houston. First place clubs going at it. And the AL East back and forth. Who is going to be leading that AL East after tonight? So close. 4 teams within 1 game.
Teixeira to lead things off. He was at the play when Gardner was thrown out to end the first at third base. Not a caught stealing, by the way. Was trying to advance, and that's how he was called out and thrown out. Teixeira, Beltran, and Headley here in the second. DJ gave up the leadoff double to Gardner. Nothing more. Took something off.
Good changeup, back-to-back changeups. Good adjustment on that one as compared to the one before by C.J. Wilson.
Went back to that June 7th game. That one is a strike, 2-2, in which both Wilson and Sabathia locked up. And that Sunday, the Yankee Stadium. The Angels 2 runs came in the first inning, and then CC went into shutdown mode. It's down and in, and that actually got to Sheriff, so it's a hit by pitch. But the Yankees eventually got to Wilson in the 5th inning with 4 runs.
That pitch, it hit the dirt, but it still hit to Sheriff. So she's looking into Dina Weeble just to make sure that ball actually got him. Overthrown slider. The 7th batter that C.J. Wilson has hit this year. Because that is reviewable this year. And so she's fine with that.
Had he swung at it,
yes, that'd be a swing and
the
miss.
strike and the strikeout takes precedence over the hit by pitch. He's on board. Second straight inning. Leadoff man is reached. Here's Beltran, the right fielder. Switch in, looks at a strike. Hitting .258, has 7 home runs and 30 RBIs with 18 doubles as well. 1 triple.
Around there in the 4 double plays. Few guys with any success overall in their careers against CJ's 3 for 10. Carlos Beltran.
One and two. Crone playing in front of Teixeira. Mentioned during the defense, Crone recalled today Kyle Kubica was optioned down to AAA after the game yesterday. CJ back up and gets the starting nod at first base.
Always curious to see how CJ's next pitch after that high fastball. See if he can get back into rhythm. See, when he gets ahead of the count, he does that quite often. Well, he'll drop his elbow, and that allows him to elevate the fastball. But also it takes a pitch or two to get back to your proper mechanics to be able to work downstairs and get it one of those patented double play balls that he's so good at as far as getting.
And you seldom get a swing on that pitch because it is so far out of the zone. Now, to argue talking about changing the eye level if you want. That one is a called strike 3 on the inside corner. Down goes Beltran. 1 down. Second strikeout for Wilson. Already a couple of guys tonight looking back to the home plate umpire, Manny Gonzalez.
Tell you what, if you're a pitcher, you like him behind the plate. Even in the sequence against Teixeira before CJ hit him, he called a pitch, a fastball. It looked like it was about a baseball off the outside corner, a strike. So if you're a pitcher, be aggressive.
Memory serves, Gonzalez a very good umpire. Calls all 4 quadrants of the zone. That one misses low on Headley.
And that was a strike that CJ threw to Beltran.
And technically a strike on Trout, too.
Exactly, touched the lower part of the strike zone.
One ball, 1 strike on the Yankee third baseman. 2 for 16 on this road trip. .251 batting average overall, 8 home runs, and 28 runs batted in. He's hit better this year from the left side than he has the right. .267 to .217. He's ahead of the count here, 2-1.
So early on, CJ's done a nice job as far as throwing his changeup for strikes. Just the other day, we talked about how well he has thrown his changeup for a strike. That 73% of the time when he throws his changeup, it's in the strike zone.
The other thing, too, that seems to stand out here over just an inning plus, the fact that tempo is a little bit more upbeat tonight. This one's out to right field. Called back a couple of steps. 2 down. Teixeira back to first.
See, in Yankee Stadium, if you're on the mound, you're biting your nails as that baseball's hit up in the air to that part of the field.
Biting your nails. That ball is like 15 rows deep. Are you kidding me?
Well,
You're putting your head down looking at the umpire asking for a new baseball.
It keeps you from saying some bad words.
Two outs. Teixeira still at first. One ball, no strikes on the Yankees second baseman, Jose Pineda. 224 average with a home run and 3 RBIs.
2 for 3 against CJ with a home run.
That home run he hit against Wilson is one and only big league home run.
Chased a high changeup there against CJ.
Two one on the way. That was in there. 2-2.
I look out in the outfield. Robertson playing shallow. Mike Trout playing shallow in center field. I like what you've seen lately from Trout. Playing a little more shallow in center field to take away that little flare in front of him. Very confident going back on the baseball.
Full count. And it may not look like it at home watching the defense where Trout is lined up in center field. But almost to a man in the last couple of years, you especially here at home where visiting broadcasters can lean over and talk to us. Everyone asks the same thing. Does Trout always play that deep? This year he's making a concerted effort to play a little bit more shallow. Fouls this one back.
And Dino Ebel very instrumental in him playing more shallow. Andy Robertson plays a very shallow left field anyhow, normally. But Dino very good as far as bringing in Trout. Also does the same thing with Cole Calhoun, who's played a little more shallow in the right field than we've seen in the past.
And the argument being, take away the base hit. If you're playing deep or if you're playing shallow, doesn't matter. Ball is lined out to the alley. You're not going to catch it anyway.
Exactly. I always believe take away the pitch you make, a flare, you want it out. The ball squared up. It deserves to be over your head.
Called strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Wilson. We will head to the bottom of the second. The Angels leading at 1-0. Bottom third of the order coming up for the Halos. Crone, Perez, and Robertson. And CC Sabathia. 2 strikeouts in the first inning. And thought he was going to get through the inning with no damage, but Pujols shot a double down the right field line into the corner. And scored Johnny Giavotella from first. Crone looks at a slider for a strike. 36th game at the major league level this year for CJ. Just 204 with a home run and 6 runs batted in. CJ has been set down a couple of times this year. He's played in 23 games at Salt Lake at .323, 6 home runs, 23 RBIs.
10 doubles also. That's what we saw a lot in spring training. Doubles machine.
Pulls this one foul, and it's 1-2. Well, once the bell rang to open the season, CJ Crone just looked like a guy who was almost feeling for every pitch. And then he got into that situation where things started to snowball, where he started to guess.
And when you start to guess, you start chasing stuff out of the strike zone.
Called strike 3. That inside corner was being worn out by Manny Gonzalez. And there's out number 1. Fans groups of 20 or more can enjoy exciting Angels baseball for as low as $6 per ticket. Make your plans to bring out co-workers, teammates, and family. Visit angels.com/groups to book that outing today. Third strikeout for Sabathia.
2 looking. Both on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah.
Trout and then CJ Crone.
4 of the 6 tonight have been looking. Carlos Perez, a .245 average. Played in Saturday's game. Went 0 for 3, but did pick up an RBI. His 13th of the year. Gets this one fouled out of play.
The one thing about CC Sabathia, he's had some success throwing that little cut fastball inside. Although now he's not overpowering, he's more apt to make some mistakes when he tries to go inside. And that's when you have to jump on it as a right-handed batter against him. 16 home runs he's allowed against right-handed batters, 17 overall.
1 ball, 2 strikes. This one headed to the seats. That is lined toward right center field. Gardner was shading that way. He tracks it down. Got a great jump on that ball. 2 outs.
Very athletic outfielder. You see him play left, you see him play center. It's all about that jump and first step. Brett Gardner, a little prep step in the outfield even, anticipating the ball hit that way, tracks it down. It looked like it would have been a double off the bat by Carlos Perez. It played well by Gardner. Never moved his head there. That's the thing. As he was charging after that baseball, kept the head level, keeping the eyes right on the baseball. So you're able to track down a hard liner like that, especially when it's running away from you as an outfielder.
Daniel Robertson playing in his 12th game with the Angels this year. It's 5 for 21 with a couple of runs batted in. Starting left fielder tonight. Ground ball foul behind Gary DiSarcina. No balls, 2 strikes. Reaching for this one. Gregorius comes charging in. Fires at the first. What an arm.
That's a closer's arm.
Wow. Yeah, if the offensive thing doesn't work out for Didi,
just close.
Put him on the bump. We'll head to the third. 1-0 Angels. Leading at 1-0. Hey, Larry David's in the house.
Fantastic. Really good in Three Stooges movie, by the way. Outstanding.
That's it of his entire resume.
Well,
on IMDb, you pull a Three Stooges movie for Larry David.
That's how I roll. I love it. I love the Three Stooges.
I'm going to go with the voice of George Steinbrenner on Seinfeld. Ken Phelps, Ken Phelps, Ken Phelps.
No, that's very solid too. But I'm sure you would say the Three Stooges movie.
There's the first out of the third. First ground ball out for C.J. Wilson. And we bring up Didi Gregorius. Gregorius sitting 233 with 4 home runs, 16 runs batted in. 6 for his last 33. With 2 balls and no strikes.
What the Yankees are trying to do with Gregorius right now is try to hit the ball the other way. He's getting that pull happy mode. Not a ground balls to first or second base.
CJ falls behind on the 9th place hitter, 3-0. Gregorius picked up in the offseason a 3-team deal. Detroit and Arizona. Strike 3-1. Never easy though. I mean, forget about playing shortstop at the major league level, but then having to come to the New York Yankees and be the guy that's playing shortstop instead of number 2. That's inside, and he draws the walk. First one issued by Wilson. Put a man on with 1 out. We'll check out the Angels' upcoming schedule. It's presented by Honda. 2 more against the Yankees. Tomorrow it's a 7:05 start. Remember, Wednesday's a 4:05 start. The Angels will fly to Texas after the game, have the off day in Texas, play the Rangers over July 4th weekend. 3 night games in Texas, by the way. An off day Monday. 2 against Colorado, and then they wrap up the quote-unquote first half with 4 in Seattle.
4 different time starts for the Angels. That last game against the Yankees at 4 o'clock, and a 7 o'clock start against Texas Friday, 8 o'clock Saturday, 6 o'clock on Sunday.
Just call me Clark.
Yeah, Clark. Seriously?
Brett Gardner double to the alley in right center field to lead off the ball game.
I miss your sweater, by the way.
Yeah, I don't. Not now in this heat. I think my shirt finally just dried off. I'm sure you're pretty comfortable with that Dickey on. This one shot to left field, second hit of the game.
Yeah, that was quite comfortable.
So 2 on and 1 out, and Young coming up.
Gardner continues to swing the bat extremely well. 2 hits already in this game, a double and a single. In that part of the order, though, for CJ, where he's had a lot of success.
I tell you what, continue to see the evolution of Brett Gardner. When he first came up to the big leagues, a guy that played left field, can slap the ball the other way, great speed. But now you're seeing him pull the ball. So you got to guard against that. He's still capable of hitting the ball the other way.
Doesn't it seem like he was so into seeing so many pitches when he first came up?
This one's out towards center. Chasing Trout back. Still going back. Leaps up and he got it. Mike Trout did it again. Gardner touched second. Heads back to first after retouching it. And Trout with a defensive gem for the second out of the inning.
It's all about that comfort level now going back on the baseball. He has that ability now to take that base hit in front of him. Still extremely good as far as going back on the baseball. Off the bat by Young. This was destined for at least a double. But that speed going straight back, leaps up. Mike Trout once again proves why he is the best player in baseball. Doing it with the glove, can do it with the bat, can do it with his wheels. And gets it in quickly. Again, keeping those eyes level as he leaps up and makes the play so important. Not a lot of wasted movement. What a play by Trout.
And to the point we made, what, about a half inning ago, about trusting the ability to go back on the baseball. That ball was squared up pretty well by Young. 2 outs, 2 on. Alex Rodriguez at the plate. He yanks this one foul.
And that baseball didn't have a lot of height to it, so he had to get back quickly to make that play. And you can see Dino Ebel. He's been so instrumental of getting Mike Trout to play in and trusting his ability to go back. Mike Trout giving that signal right back to Dino Ebel. It's great to see that. What a play. 2 great defensive plays already. Carlos Perez, that nice play on that would-be wild pitch. Finish off the first, and that play by Trout.
Rodriguez a strikeout victim in the first. 0-1. Check swing. Did not go. That's Paul Schreiber at first. You would have been out of your mind if Dino Ebel, instead of the old hat tip, he would have done the old fly Eagles fly.
Well, I'll have to tell him that tomorrow. Like one of the tight ends for the Eagles making that play over the middle.
2-1 count. And Gardner had rounded second.
Pretty heads-up baseball to go back and touch that base. Otherwise, that's a double play. He anticipated scoring from first base on that well-hit baseball by Chris Young.
2-1. Upstairs, 3 balls and a strike to share on deck.
And this is a time where CJ's been very good against Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod's looking, fastball. CJ's been able to throw his changeup in this spot if he can keep it down and away, or even slider down and in.
Ground ball to the right side. That's a base hit. Gregorius being waved in. He'll score. Gardner's going to third. We're tied up at 1 as Alex Rodriguez picks up his 45th RBI.
CJ went with a fastball there, went down, and Alex Rodriguez did a nice job as far as a good piece of hitting going the other way for an RBI single. 45 RBI. See, just went looking for a fastball away. Now, if that's a changeup down and away, he's not going to be able to keep his hands back like that. The punch that went through the hole.
Almost like he meant to go to the right side. No, with 2 strikers, or with one of the pretty good hitter scout, might get a fastball there, and with Giavotella shading toward the middle, trying to keep Gregorius close to the bag. That hole on the right side was open.
But you can't do that with a good changeup, though. Your hands are going to go through the zone a little bit quicker. And chances are you're going to be out in front of that. He did well to get a fastball there and did a nice job of hitting.
Upstairs on the fastball to Teixeira. And it's 1-0. Teixeira hit by a pitch in the second. A 1-1 game here in the third.
See, I thought that pitch right there, Alex Rodriguez, would have been perfect, because he wants an opportunity to swing the bat, and that was close enough. On 3-1 pitch, he might have chased that changeup.
Three and 0 now. Red one. Gardner standing at third base. Rodriguez at first. Beltran on deck. Trying to limit the damage and keep it a 1-1 game. 3-1 now. Walked it. Second walk of the inning. And now they're loaded up for Beltran.
Let's get a visit here. Butcher, here he comes. Butcher's going to go out and try to settle CJ down. quick conversation, is to get back in that mode of thinking of a ground ball, get it in an infielder.
Butcher back to the dugout. Wilson to face Beltran with the bases loaded. Beltran's 0 for 1, struck out looking. Second inning at bat. Breaking ball for a strike. Beltran 3 for 9 this year with the bases loaded. .312 hitter in his career. 0-1. Good off-speed pitch. No balls and 2 strikes.
No reason to throw him a strike now either now for C.J. Wilson.
Perez calling time. Alex Rodriguez tying this game up with a base at the right to score Gregorius from second. He was on board on a 1-out walk. Just missed. According to Fox Tracks, did just miss in.
It was about a baseball off the inside corner, but a lot of those pitches have been called strikes on that inner part of the plate. Just off the inside corner at 91, but still, it's a good setup pitch. You can go down and in with a slider now if you're CJ. Especially with the pitch that close.
Got him looking. Down goes Beltran for the 3rd out. The Yankees tied it up on the single by Alex Rodriguez. C.J. Wilson held down by a fine defensive play by Trout as well.
What a great jump Mike Trout had on that baseball. Leaps up against Chris Young to make an unbelievable catch, and Dino Abel tipping the hat to Trout. What a play.
Trout due up 3rd. Begin as Alex Morgan and Team USA take on Germany with a trip to the final on the line. Coverage begins tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, only on your local Fox station and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. And don't forget, after that game, come back to Fox Sports West. We got soccer balls all over the place here in the booth. Yankees and Angels. Game 2, Angels Live will kick things off at 6:30. Back up the middle, knocked down by C.C. Sabathia. High throw to Shera. Got the foot on the bag, according to Alfredo Griffin and Johnny Giavitello. So Mike Scioscia might even look at it. down below. Both Giavotella and Griffin saying that Teixeira did not keep the foot on the bag. And apparently he did.
Well, Teixeira is some kind of good fielding first baseman, I'll tell you what. There's a reason why he's won multiple Gold Gloves. The stretch, and then have the presence of mind of getting that foot right there, the cleat just as Giavotella touches the base.
Sabathia waving off Joe Girardi, the training staff for the Yankees. He's fine. Giavotella now 1 for 2. Hey, nice job, by the way, with the great jersey.
Oh, I love this jersey.
Alex Morgan's 15, right?
I know I have my name on
Your
the back.
name's on the back.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Yes. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
What a great match that's going to be. #1 versus #2 in the world.
Need some Advil now? Got a raging headache all of a sudden. Don't know why. Calhoun, a strikeout victim in the first. So he's 0 for 1. 1 of 3 strikeouts for Sabathia. Count evens up at 1-1. The Angels sent 6 men to the plate in the first inning, scoring just once. Sabathia retired the side in order in the second.
Now it's time for the driver's seat, brought to you by Kia. Cole Calhoun at the plate here. Yesterday had the go-ahead RBI single in the 8th, scored the winning run in the 10th. The Angels have 8 wins in 10 games, and when the score is tied after 7 innings this year, so they've won a lot of those games late. Cole Calhoun, one of the big reasons.
One, 2. Down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trout on deck. Down with a high fastball. Second time tonight that Sabathia has struck out Calhoun, 2 outs.
Now it's time for a T-Mobile game changer with Mike Trout coming to the plate. Outstanding play last half inning. Leads AL outfielders as far as all-star votes. Voted starting the last 2 seasons. The Angels to ever start 3 consecutive or more all-star games. Rod Carew, Reggie Jackson, and Vlad Guerrero.
Trout now at 11.461 million votes. Trout, Lorenzo Cain, Alex Gordon in the outfield right now. Cespedes creeping up. Cabrera now leads at first base. Josh Donaldson leads at third. Nelson Cruz at DH and the rest of the Royals. And I guess they're changing it up this year. Players will be announced apparently on Sunday. Pitchers on Monday.
It'll be fun to see those selections.
Yep.
Tell you what, generally when Trout makes one of those outstanding defensive plays, he does something amazing with the bat also. Looking forward as this game progresses.
Went down looking in the first inning. There's the voting leaders as announced today. Donaldson now about 1.4 ahead of Moustakas. And that is lined out toward left center field. Towering shot. Gardner racing back to the wall. Gone! Big fly for Mike Trout. 2-1 Angels.
Home run number 20 for Mike Trout. 43 RBI. Second career home run against CC Sabathia. Inside with a little cutter. Said that when you go in there enough, when hitters can look inside, get his hands inside that baseball, gets his hands inside, barrel the bat, and out to left center field for Mike Trout. And for some reason, well, that's the reason why he's the best in the game. When he does something special with that glove, he always follows up with something special with the bat.
Coming in tonight, he was tied with J.D. Martinez and Luis Valbuena and Nelson Cruz for second in home runs with 19. Pujols leads with 23. Albert pulls this one to third. Headley has it. Across the diamond for the third out, but a 2-out home run by Mike Trout, his 20th of the season, puts the Angels back in the lead.
Well, so quick how quickly he got his hands inside that baseball and to barrel out to hit it out to a big part of the field. CeCe looking on.
Top of the fourth inning. Great crowd here tonight. Game one of this three-game set.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player out there in center, don't you think?
Yeah. Fine defensive play, and then the home run. Great call by you, partner.
He makes it easy.
I think every time he comes to the plate, you just need to say, there's a chance he does something special here.
Or even in the field, for that matter. Hey, as soon as he walks onto the field.
Ball and a strike on Headley. With a fly ball to right field in the second. So he's 0 for 1. CJ threw 24 pitches in that third, limited the Yankees to 1 run. This one sliced foul. 1-2.
And that great play by Mike Trout in the outfield. The big reason why the Yankees only scored 1 in that inning.
You're right, because that's 2 runs there. I figured Gardner would score. He had a terrific jump from first and put a man at second with 1 out. And then you got Rodriguez Teixeira. So chance for a big inning.
It's a very important inning for CJ and the Angels to put up a 0. The momentum going back to the offensive side.
Two. Missed down low, off speed. Full count. Headley finished the year last year with the Yankees. Got traded from the Padres for young Hervis Solarte and Rafael DePaula. Then re-signed with the Yankees. 4-year deal in the offseason. Skies this one out to a shallow center. Trout can't find the baseball, so it's got to be Giamatello and Ibar. Johnny makes the call on the catch. Junior Angels Kids Club is now accepting members for the season. For just $18, members will receive an exclusive Junior Angels shirt, a Junior Angels bracelet, 4 ticket vouchers, and more. Visit guest relations right behind 107 or 124 to become a member.
It's important as a middle infielder when you go back every once in a while. As an outfielder, you don't pick up the baseball well. That's why you keep going back until that outfielder calls you off. Nice play by Giavitello.
Perello for 1. He struck out looking into second.
.520 counts in the game so far for CJ.
That's 66 pitches with 1 out here in the 4th. Two 1. The bottom part of the strike zone. Wilson with 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 3 hits allowed. Both teams with 3 hits.
Well, that's a good 2-seam fastball from CJ. That good late movement. Looked like it was going to be a strike, but then ran off the outside corner.
Chopper left side, Freeze cuts it off, spins around, fires the first, got him. 2 down.
Well played by David Freeze. Right decision, make that play. Kneeling the baseball, spin around, perfect throw. Got a lot on that throw. The second out of the inning.
John Ryan Murphy looks at ball 1. Grounded out to Ibar in his first at bat. Shoots this one out to right. Cole Calhoun comes in, dives, and he got it. Another fine defensive play by the Angels outfield.
And Cole playing more shallow allows him to make that play coming in. We've seen that often from Cole Calhoun. Diving, outstanding play.
Of the 4th. I'm Alex Curry, and tomorrow the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup semifinals begins as Team USA takes on #1 ranked Germany. One of the few times that Team USA is the underdog. Coverage begins at 3 p.m. on your local Fox affiliate and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. And then after that, stay tuned on Fox Sports West for Game 2 of Angels versus Yankees. Victor Gubi, I don't know if you can hear me, but back over to you. People are getting pretty wild out here for Team USA.
We can hear it. I want to see that guy put on that Alex Curry jersey. See if it fits. See if it's a fitted shirt.
Put it on. I told him it wasn't going to fit.
Oh, make him do it. What the heck? Freeze, Ibar, and Cron here in the fourth. Freeze drew a walk in the first. The only base on balls issued by Sabathia to go with 4 strikeouts and the 3 hits allowed. .49 pitches for Sabathia. 30 of it strikes. One down. Ibar hit a fly ball to center field to end the first inning.
I think he was looking for something more than a fly ball there. He's looking for a big fly. Chasing a high fastball.
Ground ball over to short. Drops. Five ground ball outs for Sabathia. And he'll face Crone, who struck out looking in the second.
Boy, if you're CJ Crone, just look for a fastball right here. If you get a fastball first pitch, you got to try to drive it. CC will more than likely maybe go change up, but a fastball, you just got to go after it.
Rolls over this one to Headley. A 1-2-3 inning for Sabathia. 4 in the books. Halos on top 2-1. Estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. This car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com. By AT&T Uverse, more live channels on the go than cable. By Heffernan Insurance Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Subaru, test drive the all-new 2015 Subaru Forester or go to Subaru.com to learn more. Top of the fifth inning here at Angel Stadium. Halos up 2-1. Mike Trout snapping a 1-1 tie with his 20th home run. That was in the third inning. Came with 2 outs. T.J. Wilson is going to face 9-1-2 here in the fifth, coming off his one and only 1-2-3 frame. D.D. Gregorius walked and scored in the third. Official at bat for him.
Important to go right after him if you're CJ. Keep him off the bases. That first quick out. Fortunate enough for CJ, that ball did not hit Gregorius. The curveball, it got away from CJ. See right there, trying to tell him to keep himself to keep his front shoulder in.
One ball and 2 strikes on Gregorius. .233 average, 4 home runs and 16 RBIs. Also has 9 doubles. Two balls, 2 strikes. Short schedule to Major League Baseball on this Monday. Houston ended up beating Kansas City 6-1. Texas over Baltimore 8-1. That's a called strike 3. 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by Authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP.
That's 5 strikeouts for CJ. 4 looking today.
Had a little bit of a pause there. Very Masahiro Tanaka looking right prior to that last pitch, it seemed like. A little bit of a leg kick.
Great location.
CJ is one of those guys that on occasion just tries to imitate another pitcher. Seen him try to throw the glove up high on occasion like a Roldis Chapman.
Yeah, he loves to try to do that Chapman delivery. Be nice to throw like Chapman, throwing over 100 miles an hour.
Gardner 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Wilson now with 5 strikeouts. Go with the 2 walks and 3 hits.
Good slider there from CJ.
Bouncer up the line. That's a fair ball off of Crone. And that'll go for at least a double. Cole up with it. And it's a 3-hit game for Brett Gardner.
Tough in between hop from CJ Crone. Down the line, tried to knock that one down. Off his glove, slowed it down. Allows Gardner to get a double. Second of the game. Continues his hot streak.
Well, named the American League Player of the Week for last week, hitting .500. He's 3 for 3 tonight, so he keeps it rolling. If I'm not mistaken, his week started last week with a 4 for 4. Here's Young. Looks at a strike. 0 for 2 with a fly ball to right field, and that liner hit the center that was tracked down by Trout. Can't foul.
Well, Young squared this baseball up so well, thinking he's got at least a double, but Mike Trout said, no, you don't. Jumps up, timing perfect for Trout to catch that well-hit baseball by Chris Young. Tip of the cap by Dina Weeble.
Breaking ball, and that's ball foul.
That's a mistake, break a ball on an 0-2 pitch. Curveball, wide of the plate for CJ. Got away with that one. Now you got to make that adjustment. You see him walking off the back of the mound. He's more apt to swinging a slider into dirt for a swing and miss. Money be able to lock him up with a fastball inside.
It's a good thing Joe Espada is very nimble in that third base coach's box. Tough task when you've got a right-handed batter and you're worried about your base runner at second, too. Upstairs, 1-2.
He came inside with that curveball, and look how quick. A little matrix to get out of the way.
The one before was behind him. Don't you just look at the hitter and say, hey, you tell me where you want me to be.
Exactly.
Alex Rodriguez on deck. There's the 1-2. That is out toward left center field. That ball's hit well. Trout racing back, and he will track it down again. Gardner back to second, and Trout has robbed Young for the second time.
And Chris Young waves him off and say, okay, really? You're going to make two plays like that in center against me? And again, the tip of the cap. We got to get that Fly Eagles fly sign from Dina Weeble. We'll have to work on that tomorrow. Man is unbelievable. And again, he's playing shallow, trying to take away that single. Look how far back he's got to go once again. Times the leap and up against the wall. Another great play by Mike Trout. Again, there's not a lot of movement in his shoulders or his head that keeps that eyes focused on the baseball to look it into the glove. So no, forget it.
That's awesome. Quit hitting it that way.
Yeah.
Boy, he squared up the last two. Trout has picked up some mileage on those line drive outs. Alex Rodriguez singled home a run in the third. At that point in time, the game up at 1. Alex 1 for 2. To it out.
And Giavatello playing towards the base at second. TJ Crone off the first base. Thing is, that fastball potentially away like A-Rod got last time from CJ. He was able to punch that ball in the right field.
Went fishing on the breaking ball.
And he will chase that. Look at our most home runs ever versus the Angels. Alex Rodriguez with 70. Norman Killebrew, who would have been 79 years old today on the list. Reggie Jackson with 40. Rafael Palmeiro with 49 versus the Angels, but 70 for A-Rod against the Angels.
Breaking ball in the dirt. 3-1.
That's a 3-1 count again.
Next pitch will be the 90th pitch for CJ. We're in the 5th.
6th count already where he's had 3 balls on a hitter. So not as consistent in the strike zone, even though his stuff has been pretty good.
Gardner with a double, standing at second base. 2 outs. 2-1 Angels. 3-1 pitch. Full count.
Good pitch once again. That slider down and in. I wouldn't give A-Rod a chance to swing at anything in the strike zone right here. I throw a slider down and in, change up down and away. See if you can get him to be overly aggressive and get him out here.
3-2 now. And he didn't chase.
Thought about it though.
Yeah. It's the third walk issued by Wilson. Puts 2 on with 2 outs. And Teixeira coming to the plate. Teixeira hit by a pitch and a walk, so no official at-bats for him as of yet. Want to know? Teixeira hears his share of boos when he's introduced here. Spent 2 seasons with the Angels. Ended up signing with the Yankees prior to the 09 season. Ground ball sharply hit the short. Ibar will flip it to Giamatello. They force out A-Rod, and we will head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Trout for the second time tonight, tracking one down off the bat of Chris Young.
Boy, it's so amazing what he can do wearing that baseball uniform, and that's priceless to him. Chris Young thinking, okay, where do I have to hit the baseball to get it by Mike Trout in center?
CC Sabathia to face 8-9-1 Perez, Robertson, and Giamatello.
It's so important to allow CC Sabathia to find a groove. Last inning, 3 ground ball outs. That's 4 straight ground ball outs for Sabathia since the home run by Mike Trout.
This one out to center. Stay tuned later tonight on the post-game show for the Business of Sports, brought to you by AutoNation.com and powered by AutoNation Ford and Valencia. Robertson grounded out. His first at bat, shoots one out to center field. It's a single. Gardner cuts it off.
That's a real solid swing by Daniel Robertson. This level swing. Fastball he got. Out over the plate, lining it back up the middle, using a big part of the field.
Top of the order now, Johnny Giavitello, 1 for 2. Single with a run scored in the first inning. And a comebacker to the mound in the third. He drives this one out to left, and it's playable for Young. 2 outs.
A little cut fastball in on the hands of Giavitello.
4 hits allowed for Sabathia. He started a total of 58 pitches. 2 outs here in the 5th. Gave up the run of the first and the home run to Trout in the 3rd.
Pretty good differential in the speeds of his pitches. Fastball, best fastball 92. He's got a 77-mile-an-hour changeup. That's a big thing for CC. When he was throwing 94 to 97 range, his changeup and sliders, it's bigger differential, but not as much as in the past, but enough here today.
This one yanked down the line. That's a fair ball into the corner. Robertson can run. DeSarcina's got the windmill going. RBI double for Cole Calhoun. 3-1 Halos.
Even though 2 punch outs his first 2 at bats, he's continued to come up with that big clutch hit of late. And that one right down the right field line. His 11th double, now 36 RBI, short through the baseball for Cole, over the head at Teixeira. Not easy to do. That range and leap ability for Teixeira, but Robertson thinking scoring all the way. How quickly he got around the bases, cut those angles too to score easily.
Trout asking for time, backs out. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a home run. Fouled off to the right. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pitch rate pretty much middle part of the plate, and with an open base, you think CC's going to try to get Trout to chase something out of the strike zone.
Cole Calhoun with the RBI double. Instead of the Angels lead. And for Cole, he'd like to see those extra base hits start to pile up. He went a stretch of 12 games without an extra base hit. He's now picked up 3 in the last 5 games. 1-1 outside, 2 balls and a strike. Boy, that pitch was so far off the plate.
That's one of those unhittable pitches because it's not even around the outside part of the plate.
Okay, he went through the left-handed batter's box.
That's about a baseball or 2 or maybe 3 off the outside corner.
Might need a fungo to reach that one. 2-2. Left it in the air down the line.
That forces you to swing at that pitch.
Beltran will make the catch in foul territory, and that'll do it for the Angels. They do add a run on the double by Calhoun. 5 complete. It's a 3-1 Angels lead.
Mike Trout showing some great defensive skills against Chris Young, thinking he would have a 2 RBI double. Trout says no, leaping catch, and then comes to the plate, as Mike Trout normally does. After a great defensive play, he'll hit a home run himself to left center field, his 20th. And then Chris Young again, why'd you try this? You tried it once, didn't work, try it twice, it doesn't work again. Trout runs it down. 2 outstanding plays in center field for Mike Trout.
Cole Calhoun with a nice catch in right field as well. Carlos Beltran leads things off. He'll look at a strike. Beltran, Headley, and Pirela for the Yankees here in the 6th inning. 5 punch outs, 3 walks for C.J. Wilson. He's allowed 4 hits. Carlos has struck out twice, both looking. Two balls and a strike. 96th pitch of the night for CJ. The Angels have action in the bullpen. Fernando Salas the righty, Jose Alvarez the lefty. A 3-1 count. A lot of pitches, a lot of deep counts for CJ. Tough to argue with the night, but if you want to nitpick something, you got an umpire that's calling pretty much
it's hard
all
to
parts
throw
of the zone.
It's really hard to throw a lot of pitches out of zone. He's calling a lot of those borderline pitches strikes.
That's why you see the pitch count where it's at. Full count now. Ground ball up the middle. Ibar to his left, can't get it. It's a single.
Now it's time for the Cardinals Jr. Sports Update around the majors. Battle of first place teams in Houston, and Houston wins round 1 against Kansas City 6-1. The topsy-turvy AL East. All the teams in the East, though. Tampa lost to Cleveland. Toronto, although they lost to Boston in the bottom of the division. And Baltimore, who's been playing well, lost to Texas today 8-1. So it still stays close in the AL East.
Mike Butcher out to pay a visit here. Third time tonight the Yankees have had their leadoff man reach. The other 2 in the first 2 innings. Chase Headley, the third baseman, has hit a fly ball to right, and he's popped out to Giamatello in shallow center.
A lot of times when Mike Butcher goes out to talk to a pitcher, the first pitch, breaking ball. See if CJ can get Headley to hit the ball on the ground in an infield and get a double play ball.
This one's out to the alley in right center field. Trout racing over, ball slicing away from him. He'll make the catch. Cole Calhoun peeled off at the last second, 1 down.
Tell you what, after this game, C.J. Wilson's going to have to bring a nice cold water to Mike Trout and thank him for some of these plays he's made in center field, both the right center and left center. Take away multiple extra base hits. And how quick he got that first step and runs this one down. Off the bat, again, looked like he was trailing away from Trout. He runs that one down so well.
Great communication between Trout and Calhoun to avoid a collision. 1 out. Beltran over at first base. Pirela, the second baseman, with a strikeout and a ground out. Hits this one to short. Ibar to Giamatello. 6-4-3. Twin killing. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Pujols, Freeze, and Ibar coming up for the Angels, leading at 3-1.
time for Tools of the Trade. Brought to you by Ram Trucks. Take a look at the difference. Like in 2012, foot problem, knee problems for Albert Pujols. A shorter stride, hands are up higher. Doesn't have that lower part of his body to drive through the baseball, trying to turn on everything. This year, 2015, the length and then the stride, the hands lower and then the compact through the baseball. To be able to load up on that back leg and then through on his stride. That's why Albert Pujols is back to being the machine who's been dominating pitchers this season with 23 home runs, now 48 RBI season for Albert Pujols. The stride is back. The hands are in that position to get through the baseball so much quicker because that lower part of his body is strong now.
One for two tonight with a double and an RBI. Double for Albert is 11th of the season. The RBI is 48th. Two balls and no strikes. Albert, prior to that first inning double, had been 2 for 17 since that multi-homer game last Monday against Houston. Two balls and a strike. 543 career home runs. It's 5 shy of tying Michael Jack Schmidt.
Said well.
Foul tipped into the mid. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'm going to go throw that little cut fastball in, and Albert's getting ready for that, trying to load up on that pitch on the inner half of the plate. You can tell by that swing and that high fastball, he was looking on the inner half.
Off speed down low and a full count. The Angels have Trevor Gott getting ready for the 7th.
Six innings today by CJ. We're looking for a little deeper in the game for him.
Lifted out to shallow right field, and Perella, the second baseman, was in the shift, had a lot of ground to cover. Puts it away for the first out.
The reason why I say that, you have a youngster going in, Andrew Heaney, tomorrow. You know they're going to be trying to be patient against him.
Two down. Brings 0 for 2. 2 ground out to the walk. And we'll bring up Eric Ibar. Eric also 0 for 2 with a fly ball to center and a ground ball to short.
Back to my Hyundai key for this game today for the Angels to be successful. And you and I putting it all together as far as the defense. We've seen some outstanding plays defensively, solid pitching, and some good hitting, especially at the top of that order.
0-2 count on Eric.
So important to have Eric back. Regardless, he has no hits so far, 0 for 2. But that presence he brings defensively and offensively, so important to the success of the Angels.
Well, there is a huge difference between Eric Ibar and Taylor Featherston. That's not a knock on Taylor, but Rule 5 pick, just a Double-A last year.
the comfort you have when you're on the mound as a pitcher, knowing that Eric Ibar is going to get all those ground balls and get them comfortably, and also will make that outstanding play for you because he has a great throwing arm. Taylor Featherston has a very strong throwing arm himself, but Eric's been around the game enough to know what the hitters are going to try to do against pitchers, certain counts, to put himself in position to make great plays. He's won a Gold Glove already. Thought he might have had a chance to win one last year. He was that solid.
Out to right, not very deep. Beltran comes in. Sabathia with a 1-2-3 inning, 6 complete. Looks like Trevor Gott will be coming on in relief. The Angels leading it 3-1. Inspired performance by Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by Hyundai. The 4th of July sales event is going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Top of the 7th here at the Big A, 3-1. Angels on top. Mike Scioscia handing the ball off now to Trevor Gott. C.J. Wilson last 6 innings gives up a run on 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks are in and out. Who's in? Who's out? Trevor pitched yesterday through 17 pitches, and more importantly, Gooby, he picked up his first major league win yesterday in relief.
Yeah, he's been throwing the ball so well, so important in that role for him, that 7th inning role for Mike Scioscia. Fastball 93 to 98 with great late movement, slider, changeup.
Brian McCann pitch inning. Lead things off here. Murphy ended up going 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly ball to right. 270 in 62 games this year. And he will look at a strike to even the count. McCann 12 home runs and 49 runs batted in. 2 for 3 as a pinch hitter.
Like he tried to power through that changeup. Overthrew it just off the inside corner.
Trevor doesn't waste a whole lot of time. Inside. Moving someone's feet.
Especially when you're throwing 98 with that movement. Very difficult to be comfortable at the plate. Especially when you just get in the game trying to deal with that type of fastball.
Here's the 3-2. Down low and he walked him, so leadoff man on board. And we'll bring up Gregorius. And this season, the Angels want to give fans exclusive experiences at Angel Stadium. All Access Angels gives fans a chance to bid on great experiences like Steel Third and honorary Bat Kid. For more info and to bid on these experiences, visit angels.com/access. One count of Gregorius, who walked in the third inning and scored. Struck out looking in the fifth. Crone playing behind McCann over at first base. One pitch. This is fouled back. Fastball elevated.
A pretty good swing at that 95-mile-an-hour fastball because it was upstairs.
Trevor, 22 years of age, product of the University of Kentucky. Breaking ball chopped off the plate. Going to be tough to get Gregorius. Nothing Gott can do.
Well, that's a good decision for the youngster not to throw that baseball because it's a difficult, especially didn't have a good handle on the baseball when his glove hit that high. More often than not, you end up throwing that baseball away. You know, and you won't have much of a chance to throw him out.
So the entire infield comes into the mound area to talk with Mike Butcher and Trevor Gunn. Brett Gardner 3 for 3 tonight with 2 doubles and a single. Will bat with 2 men on. And he'll represent the go-ahead run. Gregorius at first base, the tying run.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll think square around the bunt. But the way Gardner's been swinging the bat, not only in this game, but this entire week, be something that Joe Girardi probably isn't even thinking about doing. Although you have Freeze in.
Four sacrifices for Gardner this season. He swings away and fouls it back. Not overly surprised with Gardner at his speed. Tough to double up unless he hits a rocket right at somebody.
And seeing the baseball so well at this point.
Got all 3 hits off of C.J. Wilson. Just below the strike zone. And it's 1-1. Gardner now with 21 doubles on the year with the 2 tonight. Jason Kipnis at the start of the day led the American League with 24. Nice bounce back season for Kipnis too for Cleveland. 1-1. Lifted out to left and it's playable for Robertson. Runners do not advance, 1 out.
All about that late movement that Gott has on the fastball. Even though it was upstairs, a little late movement. It's a lazy fly ball to left field.
Chris Young 0 for 3. 3 fly ball outs. Technically 1 fly ball out, 2 line outs to Trout. One to left center, one the other to right center. He's got McCann at second and Gregorius at first.
Good first pitch, 95-mile-an-hour fastball outside corner.
Mike Scioscia is showing a lot of confidence in Gott.
I was going to say that exact same thing. Put him in this situation against the Yankees with a 2-run lead in the 7th.
Breaking ball hit towards short. Tough to turn two. They get the lead runner over to first. Throw. Nice job at least blocking that baseball. Giavotella got taken out hard by Didi Gregorius. There are 2 outs now. Mike Scioscia and Rick Smith will go out and check on Johnny.
And hard late slide by Gregorius right into the knee. A low throw.
And still almost got him. That was pretty close.
Couldn't get a lot on that throw. A good feed from Ibar, but that late slide, nothing dirty about that slide by Gregorius. He's trying to prevent a double play from being turned.
And Crone, seeing that the ball was going to head toward the dirt, just coming off the bag just to make sure that he kept that ball in front of him. And McCann now at third base. So first and third, 2 outs, and Alex Rodriguez up. Rodriguez 1 for 2 with a strikeout, an RBI single, and a walk. One 1-0 pitch. This did. 2 balls and no strikes. Chopper, left side, high ball. Takes that second big hop, goes to first, got him. No runs a hit, 2 left on against Trevor Gobblehead at the bottom of the 7th. Halos up 3-1. For him, CC Sabathia back out of the mound here at the bottom of the 7th inning. Halos leading it by the score of 3-1.
So impressed by Gott. And going back to that play, the high chopper off the plate, that he did not throw the first base under control. A lot of times as a youngster, you'll just fire that ball over thinking you have to try to make the play. He knew he didn't have a play, stayed under control and got through the inning. No damage done. Well done by Trevor Gott.
Brian McCann, who pinch hit in the top of the inning, stays in behind the plate. CC Sabathia's thrown 76 pitches, 50 for strikes, and has allowed 5 hits. TJ Crone tonight 0 for 2. A strikeout looking at a second, ground out in the 4th. They called before the game and got the start tonight at first base with Sabathia on the mound. Two balls and no strikes.
Some insurance runs here. Yankees with all that power. I'm sure you add on here. Yankees with 102 home runs this year.
3-0 now. Tomorrow night, 7:05 start. Ivan Nova going for New York. Andrew Heaney making his second big league start with the Angels. And on Wednesday at 4:05, Adam Warren against Matt Shoemaker. 3-1. Sabathia with 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and those 5 hits, including the Trout home run. Longest outing this year, 8 innings. That was his 3rd start of the season, back on April the 20th against the Tigers. And Crone drives one out to deep left field. Welcome back, CJ. 4-1 Halos.
That was gigantic by C.J. Crone, his 2nd home run of the season. Got himself into a count where he could do some damage. Fastball, inner half of the plate. And those cutters didn't get in far enough, and that went a long way. McCann setting up in. We got that bat head out quickly, and a no doubt home run for C.J. Crone. Not a lot of high fives in there for him. He's just going to walk around and celebrate by himself.
The old silent treatment.
He's like George Thorogood. He celebrates alone by himself.
36th game of the year, 2nd home run.
He's a hello.
Yeah. Love it.
I'm good. I'll just dig myself.
Well, I mean, it's the 4th run of the game. Come on. Seriously. If it was a tight game, I'd understand.
He goes, fellas, did you see how far that went?
Perez shoots one out to the alley in left center field. Chris Young is there. 1 out. And now.
There they go.
The love.
It's always good to see those laughs in there. And it has to feel extremely good for C.J. Crone. 11 home runs last year as a rookie.
Robertson looks at a strike. Got all of it.
How quickly this baseball got out and how far it went.
Ground ball to short. Gregorius has it. 2 outs. 1 for 3 game for Robertson. And we'll go back to the top of the order with Johnny Giavatella getting ready. Nick Rumbelow getting ready. The righty out of LSU. And in the 8th, it is Joe Smith. Giamatello 1 for 3, single back in the first. No balls and 2 strikes. This now the longest outing for Sabathia since he went 7 innings on May 16th. Allowed 2 home runs tonight. Has allowed 2 home runs tonight. Trout and Crone.
2 right-handed batters once again. That's 18 home runs allowed. And right-handed batters by CC Sabathia.
One, 2. Bouncer to Headley. We head to the 8th. C.J. Crow providing a little insurance for the Halos with the 2nd of the season. It's 4-1 Angel.
What a swing by C.J. Crone. Covered that to left field.
Leading the Yankees 4-1. That means it's Joe Smith time. Hey everybody, I'm Patrick O'Neill. Stick around after the game for our Angels Live post-game show. Hopefully the Halos can hang on for a victory. I'll be joined by Jose Mota as well as Kingfish, Tim Salmon, Mike Trout perhaps going to see some looks of his great game tonight. The defense and the offense. C.J. Crone with the home run and of course the silent treatment. Have to look at that again. Now speaking of home runs, I'm in the meal room hanging out with Kingfish. Who walks in but Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson? You know, Tim and Reggie start trading old war stories about how Reggie swung a 40-ounce bat with the RJ288 or the K55 or the C243. They started to lose me, but they're talking about home runs when Clyde Wright jumps in. And Reggie says, how did you ever no-hit us? How'd you no-hit the A's, Clyde? And Clyde says, because y'all were stupid. And then Reggie says, yeah, there was only one strikeout. It was me. So you hang out in the meal room, and the Yankees are playing the Angels, Victor and Mark. You never know what you're going to see. Great night so far.
I would have liked to see that in the post-game interview as to Clyde Wright and the no-hitter against the A's. Because they were all stupid. Just picture Clyde Wright doing it, too.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Joe Smith gets the 8th inning. He'll deliver a strike on Mark Teixeira. Teixeira hit by a pitch, a walk, and a fielder's choice. He's 0 for 1. Oh-2 count. Joe pitched yesterday, went 1 inning, gave up a hit. The 8th inning, that was a single with 2 outs. If I remember correctly, that K55 bat's a big bat. Called strike 3. Down goes to Sheriff. That pitch was down and outside. And we've seen a lot of these calls tonight from Manny Gonzalez. The Sheriff certainly not happy.
Well, let's see if this pitch catches that outside corner, a backdoor slider. Framed well by Carlos Perez. It's all about that frame. Carlos did an outstanding job on that one. I can understand why the Sheriff's a little upset with that.
Yeah. 2-iron with that one.
We talk about that pitch framing ability. That's a good job by Carlos.
Beltran 1 for 3 with a single.
I
can't even say that with a straight face. 1-1. I'm still thinking about that Clyde Wright story.
And why wouldn't you?
I can't clear the mechanism. You know he wouldn't have said it in the postgame. With those teams back then,
yeah,
the A's?
No.
You kidding me?
They fought each other.
No doubt. That is lined to right field. Second hit of the night for Beltran. It comes with an out here in the 8th.
Beltran was still such a good swing. That pitch was down, and he went down and got that one.
There's Chase Headley as he spins around to hit from the left side. 0 for 3. 3 fly ball outs. Ground ball to second. Givatella feeds Ibar for 1. The relay back in time.
That wasn't your normal conventional 4-6-3 double play.
Second tonight, turned by the Halos. Head to the bottom of the 8th, 4-1 Angels. Pujols here in the 8th against CC Sabathia, who's back out for another inning of action. Nice job by Joe Smith to induce the inning-ending double play. Second turn by the Angels to end an inning tonight. The other was in the 6th.
CC back out again. 8th inning here for CC Sabathia. Talk about he's a warrior. He competes so well.
Calhoun 1 for 3, an RBI double in the 5th. Double for Cole, his 11th of the year. The RBI is 36th.
Alfredo with the good hands. And the long throw.
Two one. 2-2. Trout on deck, Pujols to follow. Halos with the solo runs tonight, the first, third, fifth, and seventh. A couple of home runs. Trout in the third inning. Crone in the seventh. 94 pitches for CC. Breaking ball, and that's a called strike 3.
Now it's time for our top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco. He's made a couple plays defensively that have been outstanding, but that swing from Mike Trout, his 20th home run of the season, second home run this year off of CC Sabathia. Trout can do it all, and he has done it all with 3 outstanding defensive plays in the outfield, but that home run was huge for the Halos.
Joe Girardi goes to the mound and will pull CC Sabathia here with 1 out of the 8th inning. Nick Rumbelow coming on in relief. 4-1 Angels. It's 4 runs, all earned, 5 strikeouts and a walk, 95 pitches for the lefty. As the right-hander Nick Rumbelow comes on in relief, made his major league debut on Tuesday against the Phillies. Second career game, 7th round pick out of LSU back in 2013. Down to the minor leagues this year. 2-1 record, 7 saves, and a 3.31 earned run average. Facing Mike Trout.
Straight over the top of the 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Trout 1 for 3 with a home run. Solo shot is 20th in the third inning.
Challenge him with the fastball again, right down the heart of the plate. Cam was setting up in. Always an advantage for a pitcher when you, as a hitter, you have not seen him before.
straight, getting ready for the ninth. Got to leave it up at 2-2. That is, of course, unless Trout or Pujols makes it no longer a safe situation.
I wonder if we'll go back inside with a fastball here. That's just a little bit high, though. An all-speed pitch.
Full count, Albert on deck. Three-two on the way. And he walked him.
It's pretty good at bat for Trout, considering he was behind in the count in the way 0-2. He's up working a walk. You wonder if he doesn't try to steal a base, especially because of the way he throws the baseball, Robo. He goes real, rears back and throws. It's going to be a little bit longer time to the plate. Better opportunity to get a good jump.
Last stolen base for Mike Trout, May 22nd. He's had one attempt since then. That was on May 29th.
Just feel like he can get a good jump at that long throwing motion.
It's like the old Iron Mike pitching machines.
A little bit of a slide step he has, but still it's the arm motion that allows a base stealer to get a good jump against him.
Albert 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI in the first inning. He was grounded out and popped out the other two times.
See this right here. He's pretty quick as far as his footwork, and then the long throwing motion before he delivers the baseball. Gives you an opportunity as a base stealer to at least get a couple steps. McCann has done a nice job of throwing out would-be base stealers at over 40%, though.
Yankees with a run on 7 hits. They've stranded 8 tonight. The Angels 4 runs, 6 hits. Left 3 men on base. Trout with a home run and a couple of fine defensive plays in center. Pulls the double. Crone the home run off Sabathia the 7th. Calhoun with a nice defensive play. And also picked up an RBI double himself.
With a nice double plays turn. Defense very solid tonight for the Halos. Over a big RBI double.
Albert skies on the left. Young moving over. 2 down. That'll bring up David Freese, who's 0 for 2 with a walk and a couple of groundouts.
Yankees keep thinking that Trout's going to try to run here. Number of throws over the first base.
Angels just aren't running. you would think that would be the case, at least try to force the issue, considering the struggles that they've had offensively. Try to generate something. Last stolen base was on Monday. Trout wanted to go there. There's a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, I'm watching as he's trying to get his lead. He's establishing his lead, then he's going back a little bit, then going forward. He's just trying to get the timing down where he can try to steal a base. A little bit bigger lead.
Takes off. It's a strike. To throw down is not a time. A stolen base to Trout.
It's a good decision. Also picked the right pitch. An off-speed pitch to go. Good jump. Straight steal. Slides in there for his 9th stolen base of the season. Now in scoring position for David Freese.
Freese could use a knock here to try to break him out of that funk that he has been in. Just 2 RBIs in his last 15 games. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 6 runs batted into the month of June. Two balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, and Trout at second. Freese goes down swinging, so we will head to the 9th. Houston Street will pitch tonight with the Angels leading at 4-1. Against the Yankees, Halos up 4-1. Mike Scioscia heading the ball off to Houston Street. Had the blown save yesterday. 15 pitches thrown. One of which was the home run he gave up to Kyle Seager. Of course, asked after the game about the blown save, and he pretty much responded with the old, as long as the team wins, he doesn't dwell on it. You can really as a closer. 3 blown saves on the year. He's got 21 overall. 32nd game, 3-2 record and 2.27 earned run average. He's scheduled to face the bottom third of the order for New York. Perella, McCann, and Gregorius, barring any pinch hitters. Taylor Featherston takes over at third base. Efren Navarro is over at first. He was there last inning.
Very good defensive first baseman, Efren Navarro. What a swing, though, for C.J. Cron. Has to feel real good about that home run he hit tonight.
Garrett Jones will pinch hit here. for Jose Pirela. Pirela finishes the night going 0 for 3. First one in for a strike. Jones a .233 average with 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. 2 for 10 as a pinch hitter with a home run. Oh, 2.
Good all-speed pitch from Houston Street.
Missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. C.J. Wilson 6 innings tonight, a run, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. Trevor got a scoreless 7th inning. Joe Smith a scoreless 8th. Left it fouling out of play.
Houston Street with 5 career saves against the Yankees, but an ERA 0.60 in his career versus the Yankees for Houston Street.
Street wanted that one. Manny Gonzalez was not in a giving mood. 2-2.
Could call a strike a lot tonight. A little bit off the outside corner, though.
This one out toward right center. Cole comes in to his right. 1 down.
There's some real good defensive plays made tonight by the Halos. A lot of coverage in the outfield. Solid in the infield, too.
There's Brian McCann. Pinch hitter in the 7th inning, drew a walk. Two for 5 in his career against Houston. Down and in. Three infielders on the right side with McCann up. Give a till out shallow right. Houston winning tonight, 6-1 over Kansas City. The Angels needing a victory to stay 4 back. Texas won as well, 8-1. Oakland leading Colorado 7-1 in the 9th. I think Billy Butler's a triple shy of the cycle.
That'd be impressive.
The cycle
for him.
Yes. Or the triple.
The triple.
McCann hits one out toward right center. It's playable. Trout calls off Calhoun. 2 down. You don't think Country Breakfast could pick up the old 3-bagger?
I think he can.
You think so?
Yes.
Maybe with a breakfast bowl over at third.
He is Country Breakfast.
Yes, he is. It's a 2-outs double to Yana D.D. Gregorius, the shortstop at the plate. A walk, a strikeout, and a single. No 1 count. 0-1. Foul back. 0-2. Two on the way. Check swing. Did he go? No. Jim Reynolds does not ring it up.
That was pretty close.
Yeah. This is a soft liner into right field. Reached out and picks up a 2-out single, his second hit of the night. And it keeps the inning alive for New York. Brett Gardner now coming up.
And he was fooled by that pitch. It was a little bit up enough for him to be able to flick that into the outfield. He's got great numbers this season versus the Angels. 471, including 3 for 4 tonight with 2 doubles. First pitch fastball at 90, runs it off the outside corner.
Gardner with a couple of doubles and a single. 3 for 4. 1-0. Lifted to left. Playable for Robertson. Right there, baby, up as the Angels take game 1 against the Yankees. 4-1 tonight.
What a job. Overall game for the Halos. Some solid hitting, some home run swings. Mike Trout, C.J. Cron, some outstanding defense. Mike Trout, Cole Calhoun, the infield turning 2 double plays. Solid effort by C.J. Wilson picking up his 6th win. Great relief work, too, tonight for the Halos with Gott, Smith, and Street finishing off the last 3 innings of solid no-run baseball.
The Halos keep pace with the Astros and now are 3 games over 500 for the first time since June the 2nd. And they will go into tomorrow night's game trying to get 4 games over 500. And that's all you're trying to do is continue to win games, win series. They've won the first 2 on this homestand. And they can do that tomorrow. Andrew Heaney's on the mound. C.J. Wilson evens up his season mark to 6-6. And heck of a show put on by Mike Trout tonight. Let's go down to Alex Curry.
Thank you, Victor. Mike, you guys have been having a great homestand, taking the first 2 series. How big was it for you guys to start this one off with a win?
It's big. You know, we come and try to win series, and getting game 1 is always big.
And whenever the Yankees are in town, it always seems a tad bit louder in this stadium. You put on a show for the fans tonight. Were you able to feed off this crowd's energy?
Oh, yeah. It's every time we play here, the atmosphere is electric. It's fun to play here. I love playing here. It's always fun.
And you had 3 unbelievable catches tonight. Every time Dino Evil tipping his hat to you from the dugout. Is that something you guys have been working on?
Yeah, no, we take pride in our defense, all our outfielders, and we make some good plays. Like Cole made an unbelievable play. We're playing shallow, taking away hits. It's awesome.
Well, congratulations on a great game. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Big win for the Halos, taking game 1 of this 3-game series against the Yankees for a final of 4-1. Angels Live with Patrick O'Neill, Tim Salmon, and Jose Mota is next.